right, guys, let's get into the review of that Last of Us, episode 7, Left Behind. Let's get into this.
I'm Puma.
Tony T.
This is Brent.
And, of course, Bucky in the background on the ones and twos.
Like always.
A little under the weather. Yeah, like that.
Where's the bat? Where's the bat?
Give me the bat. Okay, so this was another great episode, but it's got some issues, I think, in this one. I think we were kind of talking about this a little bit before we came on here.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get into, but let me just say that, I mean, they're great storytellers. This is a great story. Does it progress where we're at?
Well, no, it's one of the prequel stories. It's actually one of the DLCs that was in the game.
Yeah.
Left Behind.
But it was well done. Well, let's get into it then. How about that? The episode started right where it left off from the prior episode, with Joel being stabbed, Ellie trying to save Joel, and basically, he looks like he's dying. Correct?
Yeah.
So that's how the episode starts. Joel's dying. Ellie doesn't know what to do, and Joel's telling Ellie, "You know what? Go back to my brother. He'll take care of you. I'm not gonna make it." And she's like, she's losing it. She doesn't know what to do, and she kind of walks away. She goes upstairs, and at this point, this is where the episode changes because it goes to a flashback. It's a flashback episode.
Yep.
So it flashes back before we meet her, where she's still with Fedra. She's being trained as a soldier, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And we see her life growing up with other kids that are being basically indoctrinated into this society.
Into Fedra.
Into Fedra. There's the scene where there's another girl that kind of jacks her Walkman. What do you think about that?
Oh man, that was crazy, man. She was so big.
That was a big chick, right?
That was some Mean Girl shit right
That's
there.
some Mean Girl shit.
Hey,
oh, and the fact that she had a Walkman, though, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yo, that's dope. Where you get batteries, yo?
That's the question.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Well, they have power.
They do have power, but not batteries.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have some, but
they figured out, right?
Yeah,
Rechargeable batteries, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe they finds a way to create it. But anyways, he tried to punk her, and she goes, "Oh, you don't have your friend Riley to back you up." She goes, the way she looked at her, she gave her like a little...
Yo, that was pretty gangster, man.
That was seriously gangster. And then the next thing we see her, she's like talking to like a superior that's telling her like, you know what you put this girl in the hospital. She had like what,
15 stitches.
15 stitches, dude.
Hey, snitches get stitches is what happened.
Snitches get stitches.
That's what basically what happened. She put this girl in her place, man, and then her superior is like just talking to her and it's like telling her like, look, you got two options here. So you can be there, you can go with the rest of the regular society,
What do you say, the keys or the... You have two options.
Yeah, you have two options. You can take the keys, or you can be just a regular person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Be a regular person, work, grind, do the grimy stuff. You can work in the sewers, or... she also said you can have a girl like well, I don't know what her name was, like...
I don't even remember her name.
Amber, Tiffany, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like you could have her as your superior and you're going to be hating life. Or you could get with this program, go up the ranks because he sees potential in
I
her.
think it was Darlene, by the way.
Was it Darlene?
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, F that B.
Fuck that.
And
she who shall not be named.
And she says, I'll take the keys. Because, like she wants a better life. She doesn't want to have a bad life, right?
Who wants to watch people scoop shit?
Yeah,
Oh.
You want to go in the sewers and scoop shit? You want to
Hell
do
no.
sewer duty?
Hell no.
And being told what to do by Darlene, fuck that. So she chooses that. Next thing you know, we see her in a room. It actually kind of a nice little room, but there was an empty bed in the room, right? She had a roommate, but she was by herself.
Yeah.
And she's thinking to herself, and then basically at this point, that's when her roommate comes back, who is
Riley.
Our guest star for this episode. Our main star is Riley, her roommate, and tells her, you know what? Obviously they're fighting. They're like, why have you left me? And he's like, well, she's like, I had to go do something. And I think is this where she told her that she joined
the Fireflies?
The Fireflies?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was gone for 3 weeks.
She's gone for 3 weeks. She joined the Fireflies.
Yep.
Which are the people that kill Fedra because they're trying to overthrow
the resistance.
The resistance, basically the resistance group.
Yep.
But she goes, you know what? Follow me. I want to show you something.
Yeah.
So they get out of their apartment. They go through the city and they get into a.
By the way, one point.
Yes.
I thought, don't you think it was kind of crazy that she popped out a switchblade?
Well, she had that.
Well, she's always had that switchblade.
That's her
I
switchblade.
know, but still, isn't that kind of crazy?
Yes.
Like, how old is she? She's supposed to be like 13, 14 years
14,
old.
I
Yeah,
think.
but she's being trained to be a military soldier.
know, but still,
so,
man,
But this
damn.
is their life. That's why they're showing you a glimpse of how the system works and why there's the Fireflies in the first place, because these are bad people.
Agreed.
They're trying to like control everybody.
It's the government 10 times full.
Yes.
So they trained them as kids?
Yes.
Like, even as, like, killers? They
Toy.
trained-
Basically, they're trained as toy soldiers.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty nuts.
That's the whole situation that they're
I
in.
wanna
That,
correct
that's how they're
myself.
going to keep their thing going.
I think it's Bethany.
Wow.
There you go,
Is it
Darlene.
Bethany? Yeah.
You know what? They both sound like bitches.
They do
I'm
sound
sorry.
like
And
bitches,
you know what?
man. Oh
And by
my
the way,
God.
I'm not calling that little girl that. She's just a great actress because
she did a great
she
job.
made us not like her.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, at this point, they reach this building, and it happens to be a mall, and you know, she like puts on Riley puts on the lights.
She figured out how to turn everything
She
on.
turned everything on.
Don't forget they had some drink, too, man.
Oh, they had
Oh,
some.
yeah.
Oh, they had a bottle in the bag.
Yes,
Yeah,
they did. They got a little
Because
twisted.
she's 14-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
14-year-old. I don't know how old Riley is. I think she might be
17. She was 17 years old.
And Ellie is 14 in this.
Sounds about right.
Right, 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
At least in this moment.
Yes.
Right. And they're going to the mall now. Like, this is the trippy part because it's like all the stores that we all know at the mall, right? They happen to walk to I saw the Victoria's Secrets,
Well, Foot Locker.
the Foot Locker. Yeah,
Sorry.
you're
You know,
gotta
that'd
show
be
that.
the first place I go to.
and like
I'd rate Foot Locker like no
You
doubt.
see the big deal that they made about the elevator
which part?
when they're going up
Escalator.
the escalator.
Oh, the escalator. That's
the
right.
escalator.
Yeah, because you got to realize they've never experienced these things. Well, at least
Well, Ellie has.
Ellie hasn't yet, right? And it's a lot of firsts for Ellie, right?
Well, I don't think the other one experienced it either. But
Well, she's been there. She kind of been through there a little bit. She kind of was showing her the ropes. But the one little scene was that Victoria's Secret scene where it's like, oh, she's like, oh, imagine you dressed up in that.
I know.
And we were like,
You know the funny thing about that
Yeah.
that before getting to that Victoria's Secret part,
Yes.
is like she was asking why are all these places wiped out?
right.
It's because they were saying, oh, they're trying to get whatever they need.
They need
They're like,
first.
shoes.
So shoes are.
questionable.
So you got your
Foot Locker?
dunks. You
he's like,
yes. Then you go for that first, right?
That's where I'm going.
But Victoria's Secret, it was untouched.
Nobody needed clean underwear.
The
Come on,
lingerie,
clean underwear?
lingerie.
It's commando time.
So they get to, yeah. Oh yeah, right. But there were some cool shops,
that's a different.
which we'll get into like as we go along, right?
Yeah.
But I think the first stop they get to is the merry-go-round,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Right.
That was surprise one.
Yeah, that was surprise
Oh no,
number one.
or was that two?
Well, the mall was number one,
Yeah.
merry-go-round number two,
Yeah.
right? A few surprises, which was kind of cool. Now, what I was thinking, like, and obviously because we watch this show, in this reality, like I was thinking, somebody's gonna hear this, either humans or
That was
clickers.
going through my head the whole time.
the whole
It's like-
time. Like I was
For
nervous,
real.
like
and
they
even
just-
with the lights. And she's
yeah,
like,
I'll put out all the lights, all the music, all the everything going on.
But you know what's kind of weird too? Like, it was bright in the beginning,
Yes,
right?
yes,
But later,
yeah. It changes.
right?
Yeah, it does. It does change a little bit.
it's the dramatic
and
moods.
this and this is to point out that these creators of the show like built a world so well that we're like on the edge of our seat, even though they're just hanging out at the fucking merry-go-round. Like it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But that was surprise number one. What was surprise number two?
It was
Halloween
the
store?
No, that's
No,
the last.
it
Photo
was the
booth.
photo booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. The photo booth.
The photo booth,
Yeah.
right? They got to take, but the messed up part is the film in the machine was already blown
It's
out.
already-
We're,
Yeah,
we're
it's
talking
old.
about 20 years later. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
20
yeah.
years
Like,
later. Yeah,
How is a lot of this stuff still even
Yeah.
Right?
operational?
You would think, how would it even work?
yeah,
I mean,
Well, they have electricity, right?
yeah. But I mean, that was a cute scene, just showing them together. Like they could tell, like they really are best friends. Right?
Yeah, they definitely have a bond,
A bond,
connection.
going on. So that's
right?
what I think that established.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, but there's something better than this." and then they end up going to the arcade. Which, as a kid, like that was like the coolest part.
Space station.
Oh my
The
God,
space
space
station.
station.
Yeah.
You know what the first thing she went to? Daytona.
Oh,
Yes, it was Daytona.
That was
and-
our game.
Me about
Yeah.
that too.
And this episode was a callback to episode number 3, the beginning of episode number 3, where they get into the store and she goes and she sees the Mortal Kombat,
Oh.
and she's telling Joe like, yeah, there's a character, Mylena, who like will eat you, and you know this is awesome.
That's true.
We go back to this, and they actually start playing the game. Her and Riley start playing the game, and she does the finishing move. Like she actually does the
That's
finishing.
what I'm saying. Like, how did you know the finishing
yeah,
move?
that pisses me off because it took me forever to learn.
Forever to
those
learn
moves.
something
was
like
it?
that.
Well, they said they had a book apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
That had all like the codes, the cheat codes of how to do the moves.
Yeah, and Riley's been playing there.
Riley's been playing there, so she knew the moves, right? So there's your callback. And they now you know why
Great game though. Great game.
Ellie knew about the game, right? So everything's happy-go-lucky. I think at this point, the noise that they're making actually, like the screen goes and there's like infected somewhere inside there that
Yeah.
gets woken up. Yep, there it is.
Didn't you kind
Foreshadowing.
of feel? Didn't you kind of feel like it was just so happy?
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
It was just-
exactly.
Oh yeah, when everything's too perfect, yeah,
Right?
you know
Like
something's
this is
gonna
too
go wrong.
perfect.
Did you guys feel that?
It's
like
too perfect.
Everything was all bright
Yes.
when she walks in, and it looked so
course.
colorful.
Now, is it
You
just
know what I mean? Like-
is it just like I think we as viewers have been trained to realize like when something good happens, something bad has to happen.
it is the
And these kind of movies, like,
though, right?
Too damn good to
Walking
be true.
Dead,
man.
Game of Thrones, like name any kind of show. Like as soon as you see something good,
Something perfect, it's like,
oh,
let
it's too
Let me
good.
just slap you in the face and fucking take it away.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. So so after that,
Yeah.
she shows her hideout where she's staying, and that's when Ellie realizes, oh, you didn't really want to show this to me. Hey, this is your station here. You're part of the Fireflies.
Hold on, before we get to that.
No, hold on.
Wait,
Hold on,
what?
before we get to that.
What? Oh, I
She-
forgot about something.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the little book?
With
shoot?
surprise
Okay,
number.
So let me.
No,
I
it's
did
3.
one jump, one
Is it
step,
4?
one step too early. So she showed him her hiding spot,
Yes,
and she showed her
yes.
the book. Right? What was the? I forgot. I forgot the name of the stupid book.
The joke book.
No pun.
No,
No pun intended. Part 2.
2.
There was a part 2.
There was a part that
That's
they had
the same.
Part 2.
It's the same book she found.
She had
at the
part
very
1
beginning.
in.
She
Oh,
did.
by the way, when she was in the bedroom, they showed part 1 in her room.
Right.
Yeah.
But she found that with Joel.
Joel.
Yes.
When they were out at that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Was it a gas station?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a part 2. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
What, do you remember the jokes? You remember some of the puns? I'm sorry, the puns.
What does a cannibal? What's a frustrated cannibal do? Or something like that?
Throw his hands up.
Throw his hands up. Okay. I
Throw up his hands? Throw up his hands?
Yeah, throw up his hands.
We
there you
fucked it
go.
up.
Yeah, yeah,
I know. I
yeah.
remember.
Destroyed
The
it.
other, I remember the other one. I remember
We
the
need
other
we
one.
need the little dun dun.
Yes, I know.
Come on,
Hit
see,
me.
he's
Come
not
on.
honest,
Hit
right?
me.
What did the triangle say to the circle?
Looking at me?
Yeah, what did the triangle say to the
You're looking
circle?
Go ahead.
What did the
Anthony.
triangle say to the circle?
You're pointless.
There, I'll do it
There
for
it
you.
is.
I'll do it for you.
There it is. But then there was one last joke that they never one last pun that we didn't get.
Oh,
It was the
It
alligator
was, what do you call an alligator in a vest?
in a vest.
An alligator in a
I'm
vest.
sure everybody out there is wondering what is
I'm pretty sure they all looked
the
it up
answer to
too.
this pun. We try to think about it.
what do you
Any
think it was?
ideas?
Yeah, because they cut the joke. She
she
said the
cut the
joke
joke,
and
'cause
then
that's
they went
when-
into something
That's
serious.
when they realized. Yeah, they realized
She was stationed there.
She was stationed there. That she wasn't just trying to show her. That.
Frustrating.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
alligator
like-
in a vest.
Alligator vest. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5.
Crocodile.
Nope.
I don't know.
You're done.
No.
Mississippi pimp.
Did you,
All
did you
right,
find, did you
here
find
it
it?
is, here it is.
Okay.
you find the
okay,
answer?
I give out.
You guys ready?
No. Hold on.
We're
hold
not
on.
ready, but
We're not ready.
Go ahead.
It's lame, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be lame,
Super
right?
Stupid fuck.
All right,
Well,
you
hold
guys
on.
ready?
Yes.
Fuck it. Tell us.
An investigator.
Damn it!
Oh
that's
my
a good
god,
one.
are you serious?
Investigator.
Wow.
Investigator. God, that's so simple. The best ones are simple.
I would not have thought that. Investigator.
I threw up right now.
That's a good one. Okay. It's a good one. Unfortunately, this is exactly when the
I'm
episode turns. Right?
Okay.
gets
They
real
get mad
dark.
at each other. She's like, you just wanted to like, you didn't really care about me. And that's when she tells her that she's leaving. And who told her to leave? Marlene, who we saw in the episode 1. And she's pissed off. Because now Ellie's saying, oh, another person's leaving me. And she fucking storms off. She takes off.
But
as she storms off, what happens?
she decides to go back.
She says, she's like, you know what? No, I need to go back. And, you know, they have this moment. She shows her last surprise, which is the Halloween store. So the Halloween store is the last thing.
Yep.
And they put on music. They put on like masks. They start dancing.
Partying around.
Partying around.
Hold on, I have one thing I want to say.
Yes.
Oh, please.
So Riley saw her choice of music with the Walkman, right? And one of the tapes was Take On Me. Then when they started dancing, she goes, "You got bad taste in music," and started playing something else. I'm like, really?
That's a good
Good
song.
song.
Hey, by the way, this also came into my head. Both the songs were 80s songs.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
what's the 80s code?
Trouble.
Trouble. So
Damn.
yeah, you didn't see that. You didn't
Yo,
know that.
I didn't get that right
So-
now.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
For real.
So they played 80s songs, and both of them, and prior in the book, 80s music represents trouble.
Yo.
As we learned from
Was that
Frank,
Bill?
Frank and Bill. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then they had a moment, and then they kissed, and you realize that they actually are more than friends. They actually love each
Yeah.
other.
Which is
She,
dope.
she said sorry, and she goes, "What for?"
What for? So they both had these feelings this whole time. They just didn't know how to express it because they're young and they're teenagers, and this is just how it is, right? It doesn't matter who the person is. It's just that feeling of like afraid to be rejected.
Yeah.
but
And it's
then
great
once-
that they showed love.
Yeah, and they showed you like being the thing is it's about being accepted, and they accepted each other, and that's the moment when you're like it's too perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's too perfect because the noise they made called that infected that we saw earlier in the episode and came and attacked them, and they try to fight it off. They try to shoot her with the gun. That's when she busted out her knife. Ellie stabs it in the head to save Riley. Unfortunately, once the infected was
They
dead,
both got bit.
they both got bit.
Yeah.
Ellie lost it because she knows what that means, and she just started destroying everything. And Riley was more accepting, like why be angry? Like, I'd rather spend my time with you. And yeah, that's kind of like a deep ending, right?
It is. I really wonder if they're going to elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, because they didn't show her turn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm kind of excited to see if they elaborate more on that next episode, because does that mean she has to?
Did they?
You know what I mean?
Show
I
it in the
think
game?
that's it for her.
In the
You think-
DLC? 'Cause I
probably.
didn't play this
That probably
DLC.
is.
Probably.
It's it for her.
But can you imagine that? Your
It's,
first
I'm
love?
pretty sure it's on the DLC. If
They-
I'm not mistaken.
They show her being like turning
Yeah.
They do show it right
in the game.
Yeah,
The game,
they do.
but they didn't show it in this episode.
Maybe they'll bring it back.
So
well-
you're playing the game? Are you guys playing the game?
He is
I didn't replay the DLC recently.
because the DLC is from part 2.
No, it's from
No,
Oh,
it's part 1.
it's end of part.
because
Okay.
in the game,
Yeah.
it's
you
supposed to be in
you have to
between.
play it at the end of the first game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still a kind of in between when Joel gets hurt, because she goes into a mall, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that.
Yeah, they kind of connected it somehow. But basically, yeah.
So just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
for us people that don't play the game,
Yes.
which is myself,
Yes.
like in the game, do you switch the people you play? Because I assume,
Do you play as Ellie?
yeah,
And
do
play
you,
as
do you,
Ellie.
you
There's
play
points
as
where you
Ellie?
play as Ellie, right?
Yeah, you start off.
You're talking
with-
about the
you
main
s-
game?
You start off
Yes,
with Joel.
the main game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
start
play
with
as
Joel,
You start
right?
off with Joel, and then there's a point that you
Yeah,
start playing with
they,
Ellie.
you have to help each other at times.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to
switch.
get technical, you start with Joel's daughter.
That's true.
That's true.
You started with Joel's daughter
Ah.
in the beginning of the game.
That's
But
crazy.
let's go back real quick to this episode so we can
Sure,
wrap
sure,
this
sure,
up because
sure.
we're almost at the end. The last thing I'll say is, as I said, Ellie lost it. She gave up, and Riley calmed her down and said, "You know what? There's something to live for. You know, I'd rather be here. I want to be with the person that's important."
Yeah.
And scene, and it goes back to now
Yeah.
where Ellie is that's when she's going. So what you realize is this episode, she was thinking about all these things, and she realized, no, I can't lose Joel. So that's when she looks for anything to help, and anything to help save Joel, and that's when she found the, what was it, the
needle and
the thread needle.
the thread and needle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody think or have a prediction of what's gonna happen next?
Well, they showed the preview, so I kind of remember what happens next in the game, right?
But just say it anyways. Of what you think is gonna happen.
Like,
Because
for me,
they left-
this is one of my favorite parts of the game. I remember that much because you're against.
you get to play as her,
yes,
as Ellie.
yes, and I remember the burning house, and you have to like survive. It gets intense. Like if you want more intensity, it happens in this next episode. I feel like
Oh,
this is
it has to, bro.
Yeah.
This is where she's gonna learn everything that Joel taught her, but like she's gonna really learn it.
yes, yeah. So this is
Trial by fire.
Trial by fire. Yes. So basically, though, at the end of this, she sews him up. Hopefully, meaning saving Joel, and that's the end of the episode. Now, this is where the problem that you guys both brought up.
Huge problem, but I understand.
Yeah. Now talking about it, yeah, I understand it too.
Yes,
It had to be that way
it had to be
because, so they're in that moment where Joel's dying.
yes,
They get into the prequel thing to show us what she learned or what she knows throughout her
correct.
time.
What she remembered.
And now she has to play it out.
Yes,
So
but when you, as you said, as a
As
casual viewer,
as a casual viewer, I'm extremely disappointed
yeah, because it started off,
because it literally ends the same way the previous episodes ends.
that was for a reason.
Correct. I mean,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
you we're talking about it, and as you watch it, you totally understand the emotions that she's
Right.
having.
Yeah.
So it's as far as character development and trying to understand who she is, it was amazing.
so think about that. What this show just accomplished.
It was amazing.
You literally started and ended the exact same way, but yet you understood the character 10 times more. So they literally did not move the needle on the episode at all, like of
No.
the story going on at all.
Like literally, it's probably like 15 seconds
Yeah.
after the last episode.
But you understand the deep, like
Meaning.
They're
mental
showing you what she's
meaning.
gonna get into next.
Yeah, and it's a precursor to what happens for the next
And
episode.
at this time she's gonna know how to handle it.
Yes, because she's been trained by Joel all this time. Dude, I'm excited.
wow, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
even
so-
though it didn't move whatsoever.
Even though,
like
even
it
though.
literally
So
paused.
yeah, there's some frustrating parts, but seeing it now that we've discussed it, like I'm excited. I can't
Correct.
wait.
I mean, that's if you are an avid watcher and you
Yes.
really want to see character development and see the emotions behind the character. I mean, you can't deny how amazing this episode was.
It was very
like
good.
I had to understand. Like I really had to watch it, talk with you guys,
Yes.
and really understand the episode and understand what was going on for me to really feel
Yeah.
like what Ellie felt.
Yes.
And it's amazing. That's what you want in a show, right?
Yeah,
you want
that's-
like, you want to be engaged. You want to
fight for the people.
understand.
Fight for the people you love.
Yeah.
That's
I get
what it
that.
was.
I get that.
That's what it is. So guys, I can't wait for the next episode. We got 2 episodes left, right? It's a 9-episode season.
Oh yeah.
Is
Episode-
it 9?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Mm.
But we'll be back next week for
Yes, we
episode
will.
8.
Yep.
And we'll see where the story takes us then.
Pretty much. Like, follow, subscribe, leave us comments, let us know what you think, and we will see you on the next one.
Here we at.
Late.